Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So we got our giveaway car finished up. So this will be the final video on this. We are giving away the 69 Pontiac GTO. If this is the first time you guys are watching these series, this is the newest, latest, and greatest release by Revell. This kit's been out, I believe, a few extra times over the years. But this one has the cool new decals in it. I like when they do releases because you always get the nice decal sheets for it. Isn't that nice? I always thought so. So like I said, we got the car finished up and it turned out pretty nice. There's a few things I didn't care about the kit. There's a few things I really liked about the kit. First thing, the likes I liked about it is that it went together actually really nice. A lot of the fit and finish was pretty good. The assembly was nice. Final assembly was not bad at all. And like I say, and it looks good. You know, it's a good looking model. A couple of things I didn't like. I do not like the wheels on it. If I was keeping the model, I'd probably put different rims on it. And, you know, whoever's home it goes to, if you want to re-rim it, hey, be my guest. You know, I put just a little bit of CA on there just to hold them on. I'm sure they'll probably break coming off because, you know, that's just how it goes. But anyways, the other thing I wish they would have done was pin the back bumper. You know, put some kind of guides or like a plastic in there so it has a little bit of something to sit into. That's the only thing I wish it would have done. Looking hindsight, if I do another one of these, which I'm planning on, I'd like to do another one a different color. I think I'd take some styrene strips and put it on the inside of the car and just hang it over just a little bit so when you go put that bumper on, it's got a guide. Because other than that, I mean, that's just, it goes just wherever, you know. Other than that, the rear spoiler, that was a little tricky putting on because you're paint on paint, because that's how mine ended up. And I tell you what, careful. So yeah, that was touchy. That was touch and go a little bit. I had to figure out how to get that on there without making a mess. Because I CA'd on, I put it on. I should have pinned it, but man, I would have had to use some really small wire to pin that in there. So I figured, you know what, we can gunshot her in there. She'd be all right. She'd be all right. So what I do a lot of times, and I've done this with mirrors and everything over the years, and sometimes I forget to do it, sometimes I don't. I remembered on this one because I've been down that road. So before I put anything on, I'll get it in close to position. I'll take tape and I'll put it around the whole section. So I know when I put it on there, it has to rest against the tape. That way I know I'm centered and it's where it's got to be. I had a mirror a few times over the years, and car I can remember specifically, I believe it was my Grand National model kit. I had it all just black, just beautiful looking. Oh, it looks so nice. And I'm holding the mirror on with a little CA, and I thought, yep, it's been there. It's got to be good. I let it go, and it didn't take. So what does it do? It doesn't fall right off. No, it's got to do the slow come down. And I'm like, turn, like, what do I do with it? And it's doing the slinky thing all the way down, like touch. It just giving that burn all the way down the door, and I thought, nice. Yeah, so now I learned to put a little masking tape, so if it does fall, it's just going to hit the tape and fall on the table. So that's the way I do them anymore. Did I video that part of it? Absolutely not, because I wasn't thinking about it at the time, because I was just concentrating on getting it in there. But we got it. So I thought I'd tell you the story on how I do that. Like I say, it's not rocket science, but it's just something I've learned over the time to, you know, if you got nice paint on it or whatever and you want to protect it from, if you're using CA like I do, because I know a lot of you guys are against the CA thing. I get that, but I don't know, it's just the way I've been doing them. It's been working out so far. But so we're going to do a giveaway on this on April 1st, around that weekend, whatever that weekend falls, and I'm not sure exactly if it's the 1st or not, but you'll see a video coming out for it. We're going to do a giveaway on it after that date, mainly because we have a couple model shows coming up. First one is in Hilliard, Ohio. That's coming up this next weekend. I believe that is the, what is that? The 16th, I think, 16th of March. Like I said, it's in Hilliard, Ohio, and that is the 14th annual Buckeye Classic. I thought that'd be kind of a cool show to go to. I seen it on Jason's channel on Blue Ox. He was advertising for that, and I thought, hey, that's like 4.5 hours from here. Let's go. Let's take a ride. So the wife and I were taking a ride down. We're going to spend the weekend down there and see what we can find on all that good stuff. After that, the following weekend is our big Detroit show here. That is the one from the Detroit Auto Modelers Club. They're putting that show on, and that is such a great show. It's in the Macomb Community College at the big center they have. I mean, if you guys have never been to that show, it's a must. It's well worth checking out. So the car will be at those 2 shows. And I will have a QR code next to the car. So if you want to take your phone and click on that, if you've never, you know, just first time watching the channel, you can go back and watch some of the videos on the build. That QR will take you right to my channel, and you can kind of go from there. So, but other than that, let's take you over to the bench, and yeah, let's get this thing wrapped up. All right, guys, so we're getting this on. Got the engine in, got the exhaust on, and the axle. So this is all one piece. That's all one big shot. So I found my exhaust pipes are just a shade too small, too short. They don't give me anything anyways to connect them, other than, you know, just trying to glue them together. So what we're going to do is have to fill the gap a little bit. So I'm going to just put a little glue on here. Like so. I'm going to take my Insta-Set, spray some in the cap, take a Q-tip, let it absorb it, and we'll stick this on here. Make sure it's nice and even all the way around. Something like so. I'm going to put a little more on there. Let's take and work this in a little bit. Just kind of smooth it out and get it level. Like that. And while we're holding it, we'll take this guy, touch it on there, and weld her together. Let that set for a second, let it tack up. We do the other side coming from the other side here. My arm's going to be in the way. There we have it. Welded on exhaust. Now I can paint that, and that'll give us a pretty good look. You're going to have a little seam there, but still do the job. So that's pretty much it for the chassis, other than painting, touching these up here, which is no big deal. So I got the glass put in. I got that sitting over to the side curing. I used my canopy glue from Evergreen Scale Models. Got that put in, so that worked out good. So now this guy is ready to go. She's all set. So we're going to let this set for a few more minutes. It feels pretty good. So once that cures, you can do a couple things. Either you can, depends how picky you want to get with it, you could sand that down just a little bit, or just put a little glue on it and call it good. So at this point, we can actually just take a little bit of panel line. Now they'll fill the seam up here a little bit. Give it just enough color to make it look like we got a little exhaust leak at a flange. There we have it. We are all set with this for now. Alright guys, we got the glass glued in. That looks pretty good. So now we're going to take this chassis, or I'm sorry, the interior, and we're going to mate this to inside here. So we're going to see where my touch points are in the front, just so we can give a little extra glue down. So we'll sit her there, sit it down on the pins in the back. Oh, that sits nice. And it looks like it sits up by the window. So before I glue it in, I always like to make sure we're about level with the doors, because that tells me we're pretty much right on target with the glass and the dashboard and everything. So it looks pretty good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this out. Really don't see a good place to give it some extra glue, so I may just have to do it on the back and just have the chassis hold it in, because the only other spot it's touching is the windshield, and obviously I don't want to put glue up on that. So it just won't be pretty. Won't be pretty. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this around here. Once again, set her back in. We're just going to leave her like that. We'll leave her upside down for a bit, let that cure, and that should do the job. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I got a little touch up to do here. I want to have my tape on here. I didn't prime any of this, so the tape, it lifted off there, so it's not a big deal. This here isn't going to show, but these little pieces here I need to touch up. So it's not a big issue. So then after this, we can actually get the frame put together and go from there. Oh, actually, I got to put the nose piece on it first. So we got this guy sitting here. I'm going to have to do is paint this first, and then the nose piece will go on. Now once the nose piece is in, and then we can put the engine to the chassis and all that good stuff, made it together. had you do that first. I mean, to me, I would think that would go in after the fact, but that's what they want. They want it first. So we'll do that and then we'll put that in later. All right, I'm going to leave this sit to the side, let that tack up a little bit, let that cure, and we'll move on from there. Okay, guys, for the grill detail, these marker lights, we're going to paint these up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first paint them with Molotow marker, and I'm going to paint it like this side here, and I'm going to let this dry. And once that cures, I'm going to take a little bit of Tamiya transparent orange, and I'll take a toothpick and just put a dot on each corner and let that soak in. And that should give us our light, and that'll give us a nice chrome bezel around the outside. That's a plan anyways. I don't know how good that's going to work, but... So I'm just try to carefully paint this. Something like that. Okay, and now I'm going to let it sit, and we'll maybe bake it out a little bit and see if we can't speed up the dry process here. All right, I'll take over and bake that, and we'll see how she comes out after that. Okay, guys, I went and checked my dechroming action. So I first set this in purple power, and it didn't want to take it off. So I thought, well, that's weird. So I took it, put it in brake fluid. Still didn't come off. So I cleaned the brake fluid off, re-put it in purple power, and it just, it fell off at that point. So cleaned it off pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is going to take and paint this like an argent, and then I'm going to paint the inside of that with a matte black, and I'm going to hit that centerpiece with chrome with my Molotow pen, and then put the GTO decals on there. That's the plan. We'll see how it works. So I need to let that dry, but in the meantime I could paint this black inside here as well. So these should look pretty good once they're all painted up nice. We'll get those put in and then get them installed in the car, and we'll go from there. Yeah, like I said, I was kind of shocked how those took a little bit. They're a little stubborn, but we got them. Okay, so we're going to take and paint those with the flat aluminum. This is the LP38. That should look pretty sharp on there. So we're going to hit those quick and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, so I started on these panels here. So these are painted flat aluminum with the Tamiya. That's how I airbrushed those. So I'm taking a little bit of, this is grimy black. This is a Floco color, F110013. I love this paint. If you guys can find this stuff online, it's amazing. Thankful I still have a couple bottles left here. That one there, I tried storing the bottles on their side, and of course that's what happened. It all tipped over on the side, but it's a great paint. What I'm going to do is continue painting this. Going to try to get both of them done here quick, and we'll see how she turns out in the end. So this paint isn't really black. It's kind of what's called grimy black, so it's kind of got more of a gray hue to it. Kind of cool looking color. So I'm going to get this painted, and I'll bring you guys back because this is a little tedious, and I want to bore you to death with it. So I'll bring you back in a minute when we get her done. Alright guys, we got these painted up. Didn't turn out too bad. So we're going to let those dry a little bit, and we're going to take our chrome marker and go inside. So I am taking and painting the inside of these louvers in here. So what I have on my cup here, I have a little bit of this paint on here. I put a couple drops of thinner just to thin it out a little bit. And I took a toothpick and just snipped the tip of it off so it's not as sharp. You can just lay this in here and just let it creep on its own. And it'll fill the gaps, no problem for you. If I can get a hold of it here. So I just set the toothpick down and let the paint wick off the toothpick. And it sets in there pretty nice. It's a little tedious, but it looks nice when it's done. Okay, I got this done, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so we got that painted up. So the nice thing about this paint also, so say if I had it a little heavy on the side, I could take a toothpick and just rub that, because this flat paint will wipe right off that gloss real good. So we're going to let that dry for a little bit more there. So we're going to move on to the rims. These are going to sit and dry for a bit. And these are old school Pontiac rallies, so I'm sure most of you guys remember the old Pontiac rallies look like. So the inside of these rallies were like they weren't really black. This grimy black is about the perfect color. So everything in here needs to be this black color. And then these little pieces here were silver. And the hubcaps were silver or chrome. And then you had your, this center was red, and the Pontiac Motor Division PMD was in white or silver, chrome, whatever. That's how I remember them. We had quite a few of these back in the day on some of our older cars. And they were just a cool looking rim. I think out of all some of the, I mean, I like the Ford Magnum 500s and whatnot, but I always thought the Pontiac Rallies always was a cool looking wheel for a stock rim. So what I'm going to do is get this painted up. I'll bring you guys back when I get done with them. Because this probably will take a while, I'm going to guess. So I'm going to leave the outside chrome because they had a chrome beauty ring on there. It wasn't really chrome. It was like almost like a stainless, but for the model's sake, we're just going to leave it chrome instead of painting it, you know, the other way. I actually should have really stripped these down is what I should have done. And, you know, just started from scratch is how they should have been handled. But we're just going to leave the chrome on there because it will make it look a little nicer. So other than that, I added a few more drops of thinner to my paint here because it was starting to thicken up a little bit. And like I say, I'll bring you back when I guys get done with it. Alright guys, we got the grill together. Got my decals in. So the way they had this, that stripe was kind of hard to put in with a Molotow pen because it's almost like when they made the grates or kind of like the plastic, it's over top of that other plastic as well. So it's kind of hard to keep it smooth because it's almost like it's just a stamped mesh almost. But it didn't turn out too bad. So I took my Tamiya Clear Orange, the LP53. Just dipped it in a toothpick. Dip it in just a little drip, just a nice heavy drip, and just let it flow. And that's what you end up with. So it works good on top of that Molotow chrome pen. So those decals are on there. These come with a decal sheet. And got them set, and we put some microsol on there. So they should suck down pretty nice. Other than that, she should be ready to go. So I set the body together. I set this in here. I gotta figure where to glue the back. Yeah, they had you, there was a spot here they wanted you to glue, but I didn't. Of course, you know, as I'm setting it in there, I thought, and I forgot. And I chipped some of the chrome off into here. That's typical. So the front's glued down. I got it glued here in these points. But I think I'll do is I'll put the rear bumper on it, and then I'll figure out where the best spot to glue the back is. Other than that, did some clear red on the bumper for the taillights. I can let that dry, and the nice thing is once you let this dry, you can take a toothpick and it'll pop that right off for you once that's dry. So you get a nice clean edge on there. You can see it's kind of coming off right there, and it's still wet. So I'll let it dry, and I'll come back and I'll chip that off there. And once that dries real good, I'll take a little bit of white, thin it down really, really good, and I'll put in for the backup lights, and the back bumper should be ready to install. Started on the rims. These are kind of tricky because those it was real hard for me to see where the actual line was on that black. It's such a dull black. It's like, man, it's hard to see. So give it a couple coats. So I'm going to go back with the black and touch up some of the sides and even them out a little bit, and then put the decals on it. Other than that, we should be getting about close to wrapping this up. All right. All right, we got our air cleaner on. We got that front nose piece put on, license plate. That nose piece, that is as high as it will go. So I tried trimming it a little bit and shaving it. So that means the hood doesn't want to sit 100% down. And also I found with the wiper cowl, the hood does not sit very tight as it is. So what I ended up doing is shaving this right here and a little bit here. And now that hood fits pretty flat. It sticks up just a little bit here because obviously that, like I say, I tried best I could. And I even tried shaving a little bit up top, but there's a line that goes all the way across. So then you can't go too high because then you touch right here into the fender. So that's kind of as high as it'll go. I kind of try to pre-mock it a little bit before I painted anything, but just, I don't know. It's alright. It's alright. The other thing too, I've tried gluing this rear bumper on about 10 times, and the one thing I don't like about this kit, I will give a not liking thing here, there's no tabs, there's no points for holding anything. It's just, you just set it in there. I wish they would have put little tabs or something so the bumper had something to line up on, because once you put it in there, it doesn't want to like fit flush. You got to kind of hold it there, and then kind of, you know, once you slide it around. So what a lot of times I'll do before I, especially if I'm using CA, I'll put tape right here and tape along the side just in case it does slip. It just hits the tape and it won't screw the body up. So other than that, we're going to get the license plate for this. And I know a lot of you guys, when you put license plates on, you leave the blue backing on, or the back of the paper. That's how a lot of guys do it, and that's how I do it as well. So that's what we're going to do on this. And I usually take my pen and go around the outside of it, my Molotow pen, when I'm done, to give it that little bit of a chrome look, or the metal look. As you can see, that's what I did on the front. And then when I put it on, I don't stick it on there tight. You know, I put a little bit of canopy glue on there and just let it kind of overhang a little bit. So that way it doesn't look like a decal. So I'm going to cut this out real nice like with my handy scissors. Try to get as close as I can without cutting the license plate, obviously. Things got a little bit of shine on there with my light. I'm thinking, where's my cut line? So like so. Nice little license plate. And then I'll take and just grab onto some tweezers. I'll take my big fatty Molotow pen, my big, what is that? What size is that? Big. So I'll take my Molotow, this is the 4mm round, and I'll just take and go along the top and the sides. Just a one swipe across. And it gives you that little edge like it has like it's on metal. Flip it around. Just a nice little wipe across. We'll do that again. Like so. And then we'll just throw a little bit of canopy glue on there. Probably should do this once I get the bumper on. I put the canopy glue on kind of thick. And I don't bother like crushing it down. I just leave it on top of the glue. Yeah, something like that. That way it gives it a little thickness and a little bit of appeal like it's an actual metal plate. And there we have it. So I just gotta get that glued on, finish the wheels, put a mirror on it, and we should be good. Alright guys, so there is the GTO on my new motorized turntable. The little Amazon shopping. So yeah, so it's actually got the small base on like a lot of them have, but I put my other base on there. Thought it worked good for this. But anyways, here's the car in its entirety. Yeah, like I say, it didn't turn out too bad. Like, I'm not a fan of those wheels. Like I said, just they're okay. They're okay, but it just, yeah, like I say, if I had some other wheels here, I probably would have put them on. I think it'd look nice with some old Keystones or some KREG'S SS's, you know, something old school looking. I think it'd look pretty sharp that way. Guess look up on the side here. But yeah, so not a bad builder. Like I say, I had an issue with that hood. Like I say, I tried to sand that down pretty good. I probably could have sanded a little bit more, but I guess I should have did a little more fit and finish before I painted it, because that would have been more of a deal there. But yeah, it was one of those hindsight things. I didn't quite get to it. Other than that, so like I say, that is the build. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, we're going to do a giveaway on this. And there will be instructions coming up. And like I said, this will be at the 2 shows coming up in the next 2 weekends. One in Ohio and the one in Michigan here. So like I said, this is completely box stock. There's nothing on this car that did not come in the package. Everything, decals, everything that you see with this car is completely box stock. So let me give you a look underneath the car. Nothing magic, just like I say, it's just basic box stock. And then under the hood, so we did a black underneath the hood. So I'm just going to remove the hood for clarity. So like I say, nothing magic under the hood, just basic. And like I say, there's nothing added other than what come with the kit. So there we go, guys. Get this hood put back on. Alright guys, so like I say, that is the GTO build. And this is going to be the final video on it. So, okay guys, once again, I appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, checking out the channel. Appreciate everybody that has subscribed, and all my viewers. I really appreciate it, guys. And like I say, this will be on display at the next couple of model shows coming up. And that April 1st, I believe that's a Monday, I looked into it. I'll be giving some information on the giveaway part of this, and we'll be doing a drawing, and we'll give it to some winner. Alright guys, once again, appreciate it. You guys have a good one, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.